welcome back to the podcast, Children of the Popcorn. You've got the Baron here, and
Miss
who else have we got here?
and Mr. Popcorn. Yes. Welcome down under. This is real down under for our
It
Australian
is.
commissaries there, Baron. What have we got?
We've got the movie from 2007 with a giant crocodile called Rogue. As we can see the crocodile there behind me, and the lovely cave behind Mr. Popcorn there. Oh no, the island. That's the island, yeah.
Yes, a swampy mire, the green mist of a swampy mire. But yeah, we'll get into all that.
Yeah.
This is truly an Aussie eco horror
Yeah.
thriller kind of
Creature
thing.
feature.
Yeah, breach feature. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. It's got our good friend John Jarrett in it as a supporting character. Um,
Yeah, he was
I've,
a
I've
surprise
got
to me. I had no
I've
idea
got a
he
bit
was
of
going to be in it. That's cool.
yeah, I've got a bit of a head canon for this though. My head canon now is that he's actually playing Mick Taylor, and he's gone up to the top end to get the top end water for his drug water for Wolf Creek.
What, incognito?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's this kind of grumpy aging guy who, goes to the butt pub but also plays golf.
yeah, yeah. He famously though had to wear padding for this film as well because he was still in Mick Taylor shape.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, yeah. Okay, pulled it off well, made it naturalistic. He was really good
Yeah.
in this film. He was really good in this film. He was one of the standouts for me.
All right, so before we get completely started, if any of the children of the popcorn haven't seen Rogue yet,
Mhm.
if you don't want to be spoiled, go and see it and come back to us. Otherwise, if you're happy not to be spoiled, you're more than welcome to stay here with us as we talk through this. What were your first impressions of it, Mr. Popcorn?
Okay. This came out of Wolf Creek, didn't it? Yeah. A general discussion. And I have never seen it, never heard of it. I actually thought this was going to be, as I said off air, 70s, 80s Australian classic like Long Weekend. Check out the episode. Thank you for the views.
Yes.
No, it's a 2007 Australian American production crossover number with a surprising cast. And so going into it, there was little pop-out moments. Oh, that's John Jarrett. Okay, he looks different. Who is that main guy? First of all, it was like because we see the main character first. Yeah, he gets off the bus. And I
Pete
was,
Mc.
you know what my first thought was? My
What's
first
that?
note, my only note, to be honest, was is Dylan from Beverly Hills 90210.
Very, very different. Yes.
He had the
Very,
haircut. He had the glasses.
yeah.
Is this character also mad, bad, and dangerous to know? If you've seen this show, I know it's a very old reference. But
Mm.
rest in peace to what was that guy's name?
Oh,
But rest in peace to him. Yes, rest in peace to him. Yeah.
I should know that because he's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the
He was
movie.
also in Fifth Element. He was at the start of Fifth Element.
Luke Perry. Luke
Luke
Perry.
Perry. Thank you. Rest
Luke
in
Perry
peace, Luke
without looking it
Perry.
up.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember going to see The Fifth Element, and I was never a big fan of Beverly Hills 90210. I found it a bit not my thing. But I remember thinking in the theater,
Mhm.
if he's throughout the whole of this, I'm not going to have any fun. But thankfully, he's only at the start. But what he did do
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah. No. He wasn't terrible at all. But no, it was Sam Worthington, Mr. Avatar guy. Yeah.
Correct.
And
Terminator Salvation and The Exorcism. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't know the name, you know the face. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen him.
Um, yes, so I had no history of this. I knew it was going to be a crocodile movie. I thought it was going to be much older. Just so that was my really only comment is just my reaction of surprise. This is not what I expected, and oh, there's that person and that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just save everything. Otherwise, I'm going to spoil my thoughts, deeper thoughts and my general thoughts. So, what's
Oh,
your history of this? That's what I want to know because
now
this was
I'm
your
I'm the
choice.
I'm a big fan of monster movies. I'm a big fan of big monster movies. And this kind of fits into both. Like I like a good kaiju film, like a Godzilla, a King
Hmm.
Kong, that sort of thing. But I also do like a good creature feature. And my history probably with these sort of films goes back to Alligator from the late 70s, early 80s, which was one of those sort of
Mm.
set in a city. There's an alligator been
It's in the
put down.
sewer.
It's in the sewers
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
kills people.
I've
And
heard
then
about it a lot. Yeah,
it's it's better than it has any right to be. And the second one is actually better than you would expect a sequel to be for a film called Alligator.
alligator. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Okay,
it's
cool.
they're worth a look for the history of the creature feature.
I'll put them on the list. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
put them on the
Uh,
list.
then of course there's the Lake Placid films,
Hmm.
which were diminishing returns. Like the first one was really good, the second one was okay, and so on and so forth. But I understand they're looking at rebooting the franchise with comedy actors, so we'll see.
Mm. Okay,
But
okay.
I like a creature feature, and especially something like that can't be bargained with, like a shark or an alligator or a crocodile or a squid or giant spider or whatever. Love that. So when I saw this on Netflix the first time, wishing I'd been able to see it at the cinema, I just fell in love with it immediately. I thought it was amazing, uh, and I still like it to this day. So even after a couple of rewatches, it still holds up for me.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll reserve any thoughts because I think there's going to be the meat of the yeah, the meat of the
Yeah,
episode. Yeah, at this
but
point. Yeah, cool.
don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect film by any means, but yes, I still really like it. All right, so let's get into a little bit of the admin of this. So the director, writer, and producer of this is Greg McLean, who we would
Hmm.
know from Creek, not just the movies but also the TV series, and he also did an Australian film called no, American film called The Darkness. It had
But
a budget.
carry on,
uh,
sorry.
it had a budget of $25 million, and as you say, it was an Australian American co-production. It did only take in worldwide Australian dollars of about 4.6 or $4.7 million. So it was financially a flop.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame. So when did this come out in relation to Wolf Creek's release?
So it came
If
out.
if you please.
That's okay. It came out in 2007, and Wolf Creek came out in 2005.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Were there other big Godzilla films? There were good big Godzilla films around that time. Wasn't the Matthew Broderick one around that time?
No, Godzilla was late 90s. The Matthew Broderick Godzilla was late 90s.
Late 90s. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting it wrong. All good.
Uh, okay. Let's have a look. Godzilla films. People. Godzilla is listed in People as an actor. Um,
Is that you see what I'm thinking? Yeah. If he was
yeah,
trying to cash
yeah.
in on his Wolf Creek success by going on a, kaiju creature feature trend, which is
It
fine. He
really,
wants to break into America. Get it?
yeah, it felt more like he was trying to do his Razorback, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I got that impression as well. That did cross my mind, of course, as well. Yeah.
It's got a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It's got a 6.2 out of 10 on, sorry, Rotten Tomatoes is 7.3 out of 10. IMDb is 6.2 out of 10, and Letterboxd gives it a 3 out of 5. So that's a 6 out of 10. So it sits around
Okay.
that 6 or 10.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's won a
Okay.
couple.
Sorry, after you, don't mean to
I was
interrupt.
just saying, it's won a couple of awards. It's got Best Visual Effects Award, a Best Editing, a Best Original Feature, Best Limited Release or Direct-to-Video Film from Fangoria, and
Cool.
the other film festival gave it Best Film. So people out there like it.
Okay, it's got its flowers for more the underground, for want of a better word, rather than, mainstream, academy,
Yeah.
tokens. Um, Question, since you've already kind of revealed your general thoughts is that you're a big fan, you love this film, and you mentioned Razorback, of course, and that's the classic Australian creature feature, and I think you chose that for the pod as well.
Yes,
Does
I do sort of skew towards monster films.
No, it's good. It's good. I like it. I like it. Uh does this match up to Razorback? If you
No,
think, nah, no, it doesn't. Yeah.
no. It it's a it's not a knockoff, but it's a poor cousin. Like, don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
I thought it was great. I enjoy it every
Mhm.
time I watch it, but Razorback, there was just a spark to it that Rogue didn't have, and maybe it was just the fact that it was only an Australian production. There's no American influence, so that way it felt more Australian than this does.
Have you finished with the housekeeping? Just so I don't
Uh,
interrupt.
yes, I have.
Okay. Do you I think it's an effects thing as well, because this is
Yeah,
a CGI. Yeah.
yeah,
Again, we're past the spoilers at this stage. We gave the spoiler warning. This is a
yeah.
CGI shark.
Mhm.
Razorback is a feat of practical effects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. If you consider its time, the time that it was, constructed, this beast.
And
Um, hmm?
it only has the creature itself only has about 5 to 6 minutes worth of screen time in the whole film.
Yeah, which is great, and you've got to know how to put a film together, edit a film together. Yeah,
Yeah.
from the get-go to make that effective. I love the reveal of this croc though, this rogue croc. I
Yeah.
thought that was good. Yeah. Um, what else holds it back? What else holds it back? Because from being Razorback, uh, the acting is,
The acting's
yeah.
very TV. It's very
What's that?
TV.
It's very
Very
TV, and there's people outshining others by quite
yeah,
a bit. Yeah,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can't compare that to Razorback, though. You can't. We need to judge this on its own terms. I'm going down the wrong track here. Please, back to you. Back to
So good, so good. Now, there
you.
was one other thing that I did find in my research, though, when I was having a look at for my notes. Now, people kept mentioning that it was based on a true story. So
Right.
I did a little bit of digging, and I did find that it was inspired by a true story of a croc called Sweetheart, who was 5.1 meters long, which is 16 feet for our American audience. It's a saltwater crocodile, not a riverine crocodile. It was responsible for attacks between 1974 and 1979. Attacked boats, pulled outboard motors off. Uh,
Seriously.
dinghies and fishing boats, never killed anyone. But in July 1979, Sweetheart the Croc was caught alive by a team from the Territory Parks and Wildlife Commission, but drowned while being transported when the croc became tangled with a log. And his mounted body is on permanent display at the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory.
That makes sense. Excuse me. Of the Northern Territory. That makes sense. Yeah. Because this is, of course, set there. Yeah.
On
So,
top
okay.
end.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ah, interesting. That's interesting. Thank you.
The other thing that I like about this is, and I did come up with this um, when I was doing my research, is this is not a giant croc. This croc is a reasonable size for a crocodile in that area. Like, it's not like it's a mutated croc that's 10 times bigger than normal or anything like that. It's like this could be a real beast, which is I think where the fear comes from.
Is this common knowledge to you there, Baron?
Yeah.
Yeah, having grown up as a Queenslander. See, that still
Yeah.
spins me out, mostly Kiwi till, 33. Um, so yeah, there you go, Americans and our other listeners around the world. I believe there's
Hmm.
some in Belgium. Hello. However you say that in your
Hello,
language.
Belgium. I don't. Voila. That's probably racist.
Um, yeah, okay, that's crazy because this just seems, no kaiju, enhancement given to this crocodile. Yeah, because there's ways that they film it and such to, really emphasize the mass, the volume of this thing, the expanse of it, etc., etc. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool, cool. That's crazy.
Um, so
Any other
uh,
factoids?
yeah, so in Belgium they speak Dutch, French, and German. So we could say bonjour, we could say hello, or we could say guten
Yeah,
Tag.
hello.
Hello
Oh,
to our
guten Tag.
Belgian.
Yeah, guten Tag. Yeah, guten Tag. Yeah.
So yeah, the only other bit of trivia that I found was that there's a scene where Sam Worthington falls out of the boat, and the shoot was delayed as there were reports of an actual 5 meter long crocodile being spotted in the area.
Hmm.
That everyone was terrified to enter the water, and they were ruining the takes because they didn't want to fall in. And then Greg McLean jumped in the water to have a swim to convince them to fall in properly. And it was only after the scene was shot they found out the crocodile had been relocated several weeks earlier.
Oh, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, so an actual held up filming of a crocodile film.
Yeah, okay. Ah, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, so well, let's see who's in this. So we've already
Yeah, let's get into
mentioned.
that, please. And then I'll give my general thoughts before we go into the plot. Yeah, because it's the
Sure.
cast. Yeah, which makes up a
Yes.
lot of it for me, this film. Because this is a drama with a monster as well.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yes, it was your boilerplate traditional horror movie in that sense. So I'm happy to have it in the Australian horror series. Good pick there, Baron, because this is a boilerplate drama with a monster. Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
boilerplate horror. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go sort of down the list. So we've already mentioned Sam Worthington, who plays Neil Kelly. Horror
Hmm.
links to him. The Exorcism, Terminator Salvation, kind of, I suppose, could be considered a sci-fi
Yeah,
horror,
yeah,
maybe.
cousinish.
Yeah, and the Avatar films, which are horror. Well, I have no opinion on those. I saw the first one, didn't mind it, but I've
They're
not
not
watched the
horror.
rest.
You can like what I think we like what you like of them, but they're not horror. Yeah,
So we've
of
got Michael
course.
Vartan, who
Well,
plays
I
Pete
say, are you a
McKell.
fan of Sam? Are you a fan of Sam? I find
He's
him
all
meh, to
right,
be honest. And not no
right?
shade or anything. It's just he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like him. I like him fine.
Hmm.
I wouldn't
Okay.
avoid him on the.
No, no, nothing like that. No, no, no. Not about the human. This isn't about ever about the human. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
actual person. The actual person. Yeah. I don't find him very dynamic. I was thinking about just to be straight up, like Bill Paxton. He would have been great in this. Yeah. There could have been
yeah,
a bit more
yeah.
empathy. There's not a lot going on in his eyes. Yeah.
No,
I wanted a bit
no.
more of a eye actor, as ridiculous as that sounds. Yeah. And Paxton
Interestingly enough,
had that. Hmm?
interestingly enough, Bill Paxton, the only person in movie history to be killed by an alien, a predator, and a Terminator.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and he stood up for hip hop, stood up for Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah,
Shout out Vinny Paz, Jedi mind tricks. We're on air on a live show, and supported hip hop. Yeah, so
yeah,
he's a legend. He's a legend across the
yeah,
board. Yeah, rest in
yeah.
peace, Bill Paxton.
Correct. All right, so Michael Vartan, Pete McKell is our main character. The horror link for him is he was in the Bates Motel TV series.
Okay.
We've got Radha Mitchell, who's playing Kate Ryan,
Mm,
who's our lead female. She was also in Silent Hill, and she was in The Darkness
yeah.
that Greg McLean directed. Sam,
Silent Hill, I really liked her in Silent Hill. She was really good in
she's
Silent
very
Hill.
good.
I'm a big fan of that film, and she helped make that film. Yeah.
On the strength of that, I think I might see if I can find The Darkness and give it a
Yeah,
watch
let's have a look
because
at that.
Greg
Let's have a
McLean I
look at
like.
that. Yeah, let's do a little Greg McLean series.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good idea. Stephen Curry has no real horror links. Uh, he's an Australian comedian. He'd be our David Argue if you had to sort of
Who's
draw
he?
links to. Stephen Curry played Simon. He's the younger of the sort of lead characters. He's an
Ah,
Australian sort of he's comedy royalty
I've
in
got it right
Australia.
here in
Has
front of
been
me.
to a couple of links.
Okay, yeah, yeah, right. He's a comedian in Australia, right? That makes
Yeah,
sense with his character. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So David Argue was the comedian in Razorback. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop comparing it to Razorback. Um, yes. So Stephen Curry, people will know from uh, let's see, 10 Pound Poms. He did some stuff in Thor: Love and Thunder, Drunk History, Halifax. Like he's been all over Australia. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, you'll
Okay.
know who he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
His most famous role, yeah, I'm just finding it, uh, is no, can't find it. Maybe I haven't gone back far enough. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's
People will
okay.
know who
That's
he
okay.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, cool.
Uh,
All good.
Ireland plays one of the other backup characters called Gwen. She's got no horror links. Then we've got John Jarrett, who plays Russell.
Yeah,
Wolf Creek.
really liked his character in this. Yeah, really liked
Picnic
his character. Yeah,
Australian horror royalty.
yeah, absolutely.
Probably the king of
Yes.
Australian horror.
Yeah, just purely because out of Wolf Creek, not solely, but that
Hmm.
certainly crowns him as such, definitely
Yeah.
on a global
Uh,
scale.
Sort of the rest kind of go into the background a little bit. We've got Damien
No, no, no,
Richardson playing.
no, no. I want to mention, if I may, the mum,
Oh,
played by Heather Mitchell.
yeah, I'm just gonna get to her. She's got no horror links though, but she was really good.
Yeah, sorry, so I don't mean to jump in on her because yeah,
Oh, no.
the with her and John Jarrett, the scene that they have together was the best scene of the movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, just
I
that's all I'll say for now. But yeah, that was great. Yeah.
but we've got Robert Taylor, who was in The Meg, Kong Skull Island, Wolf Creek TV series, Coffin Rock. Something is out there. He's got a pretty good link to history, horror history and sci-fi in Australia.
Nice.
Uh, the rest are a little bit haven't got a lot of horror links, or they've done one or two things. But I have to call out Barry Otto, who played Merv. Australian acting royalty. His biggest thing that's kind of linked to horror, maybe you could tenuously link it, is the Dolph Lundgren Punish It movie from like the late 80s.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's violent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Nice, nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. You know these people
Uh,
far more than I do, so yeah, cool. Thank you.
yeah, Barry Otto. Oh, well, actually, people know Barry Otto from Strictly Ballroom. Which he's probably my favorite character in Strictly Ballroom.
Ah, Mia Wachowski played the young girl. Yeah, if I'm not.
I know Wasikowska. Mia Wasikowska.
It's not Wachowski.
No,
Okay, all good. Thank you. So that's correct. Yes, Sherry was the young girl.
Barry. Yeah. So she was also in Only Lovers Left Alive.
Okay, okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the plot.
Okay, yes.
Anything to bring up before we get into the plot?
No. General thoughts. Sorry, yeah, I was going to do that. General thoughts. This movie is good. This movie is good. Um, there's moments in the plot which where I was taken out of it, where it was going towards something really cool, and it's like, it's not going to get there, but it's still going towards a cool place. And once I got to this over the CGI, hello, Poppy, I became generally good with it and overall enjoyed myself. Yeah,
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 that makes sense.
yeah.
All right. So we start the movie with the American travel journalist Pete McKell. He joins a small group of tourists on a crocodile watching river cruise in the Kakadu National Park in Australia's Northern Territory, led by wildlife researcher and tour guide Kate Ryan. Uh,
Accents. What did you reckon?
well,
Well,
I mean, the Australian accent.
hers.
Um, Yeah, in and out a little bit.
Mhm. She did focus on a far north Queensland, Northern Territory twang, which
Yeah,
was, I thought, impressive. Okay, you've at least done some research. You have actually done your homework.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you was about to say it's hard to pull off.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to maintain, and it's hard to maintain in a stressful situation,
Mhm.
because the that sort of accent is very laid back. So more of her natural voice came in as as she got more as she did more like OTT acting.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 Well, thank you.
So the
I
cruise is
agree.
fairly.
I agree. I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the cruise is fairly uneventful. They do the cruise and they see some small crocodiles. It's all very
Mhm.
lovely, and it's
Getting to know
that
the
road.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the road trip at the start of Wolf Creek.
Nice. Nice.
Um, but then as they're sort of about to kind of turn around and start to head back, she Everett spots a flare in the distance. So that's Robert Taylor. He spots a flare in the distance, and then they make a decision as a group kind of to head upriver to investigate, even though some of them need to get back to catch buses and all that sort of thing.
hmm hmm They've had a little
Uh,
altercation before that, though. That does come back into the
oh,
plot.
the fisherman.
Yeah. Those two guys, they meet
Yeah,
some of the
so
human wildlife.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the equivalent of the teens on their way to the uncle's cabin in the woods, stopping at the
Yeah.
roadhouse on petrol and being intimidated by the locals.
And it does bond the group. Yeah, because a
Yeah,
few of the guys speak up. Yeah, as
yeah.
does the main what's her name?
Kate.
Silent Hill Kate. Yeah, Kate Ryan. That's right. Kate Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Radha
thank you.
Mitchell. Yeah. We'll just call them by the characters' names, I think.
Yeah, Kate. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Uh, so they head upriver, and about where they're about to turn around and go back. They come across a half-sunken wreck, and then their boat gets hit from the side, splitting it, and they
hmm
manage to steer the tour boat close to a small island in the middle of the river.
Yeah, and Kate did a nice little, there was a nice little scene where she described the capacity of Crocs to tourists, to people not from the Northern Territory, let alone Australia. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we've got a
yeah,
nice little bit of exposition about Crocs there.
yeah, absolutely. And she builds up the expanse of the land that they're in, twice the size of Texas. That's the Northern Territory,
Yeah, yeah,
twice the size of Texas. Yeah. So that as this is another movie, I guess you could put an Australian Gothic little tag on it, because the
yeah.
landscape does play a
Mhm.
part of the horror big time. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
In tandem with the croc later on. Yeah, definitely.
I will note no dead crocodiles.
No, none of that. Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, no dead kangaroos. No dead kangaroos.
Okay. Okay. We'll discuss werewolves later.
Yes, yes, we will. Um, okay. So they get to the island. Kate realizes that they're in the territory of the large crocodile and explains they need to get off the island by nightfall, as the tide will start to rise and the island will be submerged. I had a little bit of a problem with it here because, based on the landscape, that particular river and that particular island were not tidal. Based on where
Was John Jarrett lying to us, Baron? Did
John Jarrett was
did
Greg
King
McLean,
John tell
Greg
us
McLean
first?
might have been just
Yeah,
being a bit loose with. Um, so yeah, so the underbrush and that sort of thing around the edges of the river would indicate the particular place they were was not tidal. However, we'll let that go, just because
absolutely,
in
absolutely, yeah.
in the movie it was. So in the world of the movie, it was tidal.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, so yes,
I like
this
all
is
this
when
because we've had. I know we've had one attack by the croc so far, and we've only seen a little blur under the water, a sizable
Yeah,
blur. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Uh, so this is when we get our first on-screen death. So Everett is pulled into the water by an unseen predator. So I mean, I'm not sure what it possibly could be in a movie with a picture of a crocodile on the front.
It's just
Uh,
standing by the water with his back to the water, cuts
yeah,
away,
yeah, yeah. A
and we
little bit.
hear,
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's done in sound at that stage. Yeah,
yeah, man, the way that's done. We don't see anything. We just hear this big kind of gulp, and this big gulp of water. Yeah, this pulling, dragging, and then this shock horror, because then the reactions were great, because there wasn't
yeah.
people screaming and losing their mind. It was just that shock. I was like, oh my fucking God, that's just happened. We're in this much trouble. See, and we haven't seen at the actual croc yet. The build up was magnificent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
These
Pretty Jaws.
parts were magnificent. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
maybe he's trying to make Jaws. Maybe not. He's not trying to remake Razorback. Maybe he's trying to make his Jaws.
Nah, I know Razor, but there is that kind of, there's moments of the vibe of Razorback. That's the only way I can just describe it. Yeah, there's a tonal kind of similarity. Yeah, yeah. I'd have to
Yeah.
sit down and watch back to back. Yeah. But I
Okay.
think you're no, I think you're 100% right. We should look at that. We should put that on the list. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Everett is killed by an
Right.
unseen predator, and this is where the two locals, Neil and Colin, who were the fishermen, the not nice locals, reattend the story. Um,
And they're arseholes about it because
yeah,
hello, do you want a lift? Do you want a
yeah,
lift?
yeah, yeah. They're being pricks. Uh, And so yeah, while they're being pricks, that's when their boat gets capsized. Neil gets to the island, but Colin gets killed. Once again, second kill of the film. Don't see it.
And not just capsized, hurtled into
Oh
the
yeah,
air. Yeah.
yeah,
They go flying. And we don't see this kill. Yeah, it's just like teasing, edging. It's
yeah.
edging at this point.
It really is. It really is. Alrighty. So as night is beginning to fall and the water is beginning to rise, Neil decide they run through a bunch of different possible plans on how to get off the island. The one that they arrive at first, or decide to put into plan first, is to have someone swim across to the mainland, to the bank of the river, and run a rope between two trees, one on the island and one on the bank, and people can shimmy across the rope, not having to go into the water. So the
Yeah.
less people are imperiled, the better.
And then this is the previous prick. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
He's
Neil is, yeah.
actually, yeah, Neil. He's shown to be a bit more human at this point. Yeah.
Once they're all in the same storm, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Nicely put.
Um, so now we get to a little bit of a possible callback to the Poseidon adventure, where someone goes to escape one situation, but then freezes, causing more issues. So Everett's wife, Mary Ellen, goes over the rope first, and she freezes halfway across.
It's very classic. It's a
Yeah,
very classic setup. Yeah, like Swiss Family Robinson.
yeah.
Pretty sure they did the same thing. Yeah.
So now Jeff. Jeff Morrill plays a character called Alan Smith, and his daughter is played by Mia Wasikowska, who's Sherry Smith. So he's obviously got that whole "I'm a parent, I must protect my child" thing. So he doesn't want either of them to be eaten. So he, for no good reason,
Yeah,
decides to,
let's just say that. Yeah.
put more weight on the rope than there should be on there. Um, So he gets impatient and hostile. He attempts to get himself and his daughter across while Mary Ellen is still halfway across. Obviously,
This was a lot. This was a lot. This was a take me out moment. I found this, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, but carry on, please, please.
yeah. So the rope doesn't take the weight properly. Neil, trying to secure the rope on the riverbank, is then attacked by the crocodile and killed. So we lose Neil. So we've had
It
three kills.
uproots a big ass tree,
Yeah,
tree trunk. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So we've had three kills pretty quick.
And we see with Neil, we see the gaping maw of Rogue.
Correct. When we
Yeah,
first see actual sight of the creature in
yeah.
the air.
And that was a nice shot. That was a really good frame. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the tree holding the rope, as you say, breaks, and the three people that are on the rope fall into the water. So that's Mary Ellen, Alan, and his daughter.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they get back to the island, and then Alan is killed. Just as he crawls up onto the store, the beast comes out
Yeah.
of the water and
Yeah, because you knew, because it was just like, because everyone's just looking at him, just like, you're just, what? You're just a worthless human being. What were you possibly thinking? No one's showing any signs of sympathy. Yeah, yeah.
no, no. I was
And
glad he
then
was dead.
how does he get into the water?
Well, because he was on the rope, and they were swimming back to the island after the rope fell in the water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he gets killed in the water.
Yeah, because the croc grabs him and flicks him back into the water, and then
Yeah. That's what it comes from behind onto the embankment, then it flicks him back. That's right. And then that's when we see the croc in all its CGI detail.
yeah, not
Yeah.
just the head, you see the whole croc.
And didn't like it. Yeah, and it
He
was a
wrote,
comedic kill as well, the way he was killed. Yeah, the croc looks back, so clunk, clunk, yeah. But I won't go on, but I just this took me out entirely. What did you
it
think,
wasn't.
Baron?
Look, it was good for the time, but it also wasn't great.
2007 Host was 2006. It was kind of,
Yeah,
have you seen Host?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
it's
They could
kind
have
of
spent more.
hostish looking. Mm, yeah, 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 yeah. That's one of the bigger critiques I have. Yeah, but saying that, I loved the build up to it. The build up was exceptional.
Yeah.
And, yeah, back to you.
So at this stage they approximate the crocodile to be somewhere around the sort of 7.5 meters long, which is an upper limit for crocs, but it is perfectly within the natural order of things
Yeah,
for crocs.
yeah. No, you're wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah,
People wonder
and it
why I
is.
don't like.
Yeah, no, I don't like the man. No, can may I sidebar story
Yeah,
tangent? Yeah,
please,
with Crocs, because children,
away.
if you didn't know, I was born in Australia. Then, for reasons I'm not getting into on the podcast, I ended up in New Zealand, and I ended up in there from years 2 to 33. Right? I don't know if you know the Scott entirely. Um, no Crocs.
No,
There's no poisonous or predatory animals to, as I always say, if you really want to get messed up by the wildlife in New Zealand, you've got to go into the bush and find a wild boar and basically just slap it in the face and then
yeah,
run.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And people in New Zealand go and hunt them with dogs. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal.
yeah.
Um, it's earthquakes and volcanoes in New Zealand. That's the balance. That's the payoff. Yeah, for living there. Um, so there's definitely no Crocs. And so I was touring on a show. That's all I'll say. It was a horror show outside. It was a cool show. It was a cool show. And I was mainly playing a kind of serial killer thing and being the host. And we were doing it in the Botanic Gardens of Cairns. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's Cairns, Australia. It's spelled Cairns, but we said down here Cairns. Have to specify
You
that. It's not, I didn't go to France. Okay.
can get a car.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Uh,
car!
yeah, I wish, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah,
Okay, so and we're in the Botanic Gardens, and this is basically there's a rainforest behind you. Everything that can kill you
right.
that you hear about overseas is in this place. Yeah,
Yeah,
is in this
yeah,
place, especially in the Botanic Gardens. Yeah, and we got there and we were setting up as the sun was going down late afternoon, and I was having a look at a river, yeah, that was running through the gardens because I saw these giant ripples of water. Yeah, and these two tourists, obviously from, Holland or something, and they were looking, dad were pointing and just in shock, just and it's like, yeah, that's a giant ass croc, isn't it? And I was looking up at the embankment, there was just croc paws everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as this movie does show quite accurately, they are fast. Everything, Silent Hill Chicky says in the boat is very much correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are fast, they are dangerous. And what Neil says as well, they're also like dogs and they will store their food somewhere and they've tagged you and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? They are carnivorous, predatory beasts, these things. And so, standing on a bridge, water underneath of this river, and when we got to night at the end of setting up, just going over everything. And I've learned that they can jump out of the water just prior to this setup, to this meeting,
Yeah.
this final sign off. I'm terrified. I'm really scared. I'm really scared, Baron. So yeah, no, this movie does work to that level, you know what I mean? Crocs are scary, and that's why they are a good choice as well, because these things actually exist. Godzilla's cool, but
Yeah.
it's like it's an action figure come to life.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
things are, yeah, they've existed as with crocodiles, with the dinosaurs. Yeah, they mention this in the film.
Yeah.
They've existed as long as the dinosaurs. They're not dinosaurs. They are the parallel. They're just a
Yeah.
they're just a beast that is existed parallel to the dinosaurs since the dinosaurs, but they're still around. Dinosaurs ain't.
Crocodiles, alligators, and sharks.
There you go. These things are still around. The dinosaurs ain't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, there you go. Back to you. Tangent over. Story over.
So good. Where are we up to, Alan? Okay, so it goes a bit quiet for a bit, obviously, because the Crocs had a bit of a meal. Uh, Pete suggests trying to hook the crocodile with gear from the tour boat so that they can hold it in place while everyone else saves themselves and swims to the riverbank.
Last desperate measure. They've got 30 minutes until the tide comes in.
Yeah, before they're all screwed. So they did posit the idea of using Kate's dog. There's a dog there called Kevin, a very Australian name dog. Forgot about that for a sec. So they hook Kevin up to a hook and use him as bait, which was obviously not a good, not a well received idea. But then they discovered Neil had
not
dead
by
birds in
Kate.
it.
No. Yeah.
No. So they discovered that Neil, who was a poacher, had some dead birds in an esky, so they used those on the hook.
One sec with that scene though, because that's one of the good things about this movie, performance wise. And yes, to the actors and Greg's McLean's credit with this, because there's a good sense, as there was in Wolf Creek, a good sense of letting moments sit Yeah, letting this big
Yeah.
revelation sit, because the exchange with just the eyes, it's just like, yeah, we all hate this, but it makes perfect sense. What other choice do we have? The dog's got to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a cool thing about this movie as well. We'll give it to this. I'll give it this. And I also like that the guy was being an asshole with the beers, the comedian as well, found the birds. It's like, hang on, you lunatics. Yeah. There's dead things in the
Yeah.
swamp. It's a croc, I'll eat whatever. Yeah.
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 Doesn't have to be a live dog.
That was a good release. That was a good release as well. Because
Yeah.
none of us want to see the dog dead. And this is a cute as fuck dog. Kevin is
It
cute as
really
fuck. Yeah.
I will mention that he's credited on
Nice.
IMDb as Patch the Wonder Dog. And Patch the Wonder Dog only performed in Rogue. It's his only
It,
credit.
it, it was good. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has
So
more of a
yes,
part to play later on as well. He has much more of a part to
correct,
play later on. Yeah.
correct. So they put the birds on the um, anchor. I think it's the anchor they use with the
Yeah.
rope.
Grappling hook anchor type thing.
Yeah.
It's spiky.
Uh,
It's spiky. It's to get into the jaw, the more, yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
to hook
And
on.
catch there
Yeah.
so they can tell where the croc is so they can get away from it.
Mhm, mhm. It's a decent
So they
enough
go,
plan, all things considered. Yeah.
yeah, given what they've got to hand.
Yeah.
I really did like the fact that no one had a gun or anything like that, or a spear gun or a machete. Like it's that they're really not operating from a position of good equipment.
Yeah, there's no phones are even pulled out because it's 2007 and also it's the Northern Territory. Why would you bother? You're deep
Yeah.
into it. The sacred land touch was nice. Not to
Yes.
forget that when they went through sacred land,
Yeah.
they paid and they didn't make, First Nation people look like boogeymen either. But there was a kind
No,
of nice,
respectful.
deeper tone for a moment to it. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And the cinematography was cool. They really showed the beauty of up there. Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All righty. So they go croc fishing. They hook the croc. The anchor starts getting pulled away, and so the main group makes a break for the shore of the river.
Swimming. Yeah.
They swim. The croc eventually lets go of the bait and then grabs Kate and drags her underwater. So at this point of the film, we're supposed to assume that she's dead, but we don't see
Yeah,
her killed.
because there's the rock is coming out of it, which goes back to the tree coming out of the trunk. We don't see the croc at this point.
Yeah,
And she's let everyone else swim across, and I believe she's waiting for him, yeah. Because there
yeah,
is a will they, won't they, very subtly, yeah,
yeah,
in
yeah,
this,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, very subtly, yeah. And there's also a hint of her and Neil have had something as well, because I think with the flip with him being human, that
yeah,
their exes
yeah.
is something like that, yeah.
That's the real feel that I got from it as well.
Yeah, okay, cool, cool. But she doesn't wait any longer. She goes across and he comes out and he's shouting at her, yeah, he's loose. It's loose. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I did see this
Uh,
today, just before we
oh,
started this. Yeah,
that's
very
the only time you've
fresh.
seen this once.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Okay, so she's dragged underwater. Pete gets across the river with Kevin the Wonder Dog in tow and into the bush behind everyone else.
Kevin's waiting on the shore as well. Of course,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
loyal. He's been shown to be very loyal, which is important later.
Correct, correct.
Yeah,
Um, so they're safe. They're on the land. They're walking to try and get back to civilization. Day breaks,
yeah.
and around then Kevin runs off, and Pete chases him into the bush,
Mhm.
um, where he then falls down into a
Mhm.
large cave.
What did you think about Kate's death? And without spoiling, I guess, What did you think of Kate's death, the way it was shown, executed?
I think it was done really well in that they, without spoiling anything, even though we were pretty close to it
Yeah.
anyway, what they were trying to do was to indicate that she had died, but still give the story room for what happens later.
Yes, it was a damn strong indication because it's later on revealed when Neil was telling more of the truth, not the tourist-friendly brochure version of what crocs do to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was the barrel roll, yeah. And
yeah.
underneath, it definitely looks like she's been torn asunder corkscrew style. I thought underwater,
Mm.
to achieve that look, it was cool. It was a good kill scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Back to you.
Uh, okay. So he falls down into the cave where he discovers Neil's part of Neil's corpse.
Yeah, was it a cave or a giant tree?
No, it was a cave. He fell down
Okay.
a hole, probably that a tree created in the rock. But yeah, he fell down a
Yeah,
hole
I'm with
cave.
you. I'm with you because that tree was impressive.
It really was.
It was just fucking enormous.
Yeah. Uh, so the cave turns out to be the Croc's lair, and Kevin leads him,
Yes.
who is injured, but is severely injured, but not dead.
Yeah, and if I may, it's where because it was really cool, the reveal of it,
Mm,
where
yeah,
yeah, you see the dead bodies, and well, the first one would overturns in the water, and then and if I may, there he does finally see Kevin, yeah,
yeah,
and Kevin's at the far end of the cave and won't come any
yeah,
closer because, of course, there's its owner, there's its friend Kate.
yes,
Um, and it's just a good callback to what Neil was saying about the truth about, Crocs in the lair where they take them back. It's just like, oh, damn.
they go
I
harder,
audibly went, oh, damn. Yeah,
and they're
that
still
was
there, still
dark.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nice little moments like that. And the corkscrew and previous, the build up to it, almost the Hitchcockian, old
Mm,
school thriller style build up to it. Yeah, that does plant this in the horror camp there, Baron. Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah,
does. It
Mr.
does.
Mr. Popcorn, just I'll give it, the sign of approval there. Yeah,
Sure. No, that
yeah,
makes
cool.
sense. So Peter decides he's going to carry her out of the cave because he can see some light. Um,
Okay,
Kevin runs off to the head of the cave at this point, and this is where we lose Kevin.
we don't see it, but we hear it,
We hear it.
and it's just a
Yeah,
row,
we
row, 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 row. It's cold.
then crunch, 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 crunch.
Oh
Yeah.
damn! This whole build up. Oh, will they kill the dog? No, Kevin. Where's Kevin gone? God damn, where are you, Kevin? Ah, there's Kevin. Oh, it's her.
Kevin's
No,
fine.
Kevin, don't. End of Kevin.
Crunch. Yeah. Yes.
Great, great.
Uh, so then we have a bit of a fight. There's the sort of backwards and forwards in the cave
Okay.
with
What did you think?
Peter.
What did you think?
The third act is where the film starts to lose me.
Okay.
Um, because they wanted to have a happy ending where
Mhm,
Pete and Kate
mhm,
get out of the
mhm.
cave.
Probably contractual. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
It might have been a focus group thing, like they played it in the States, and the focus group, oh, we don't like that it killed the woman. So they had to find some way to bring it back or something. I'm not sure. Um,
How long is this
yeah.
thing?
Oh, I didn't look.
Yeah, because it's the end of it. Is after Kate in the water. Is this what America wanted? Because I was like, oh, there's more. This isn't the climax.
Yeah,
It was
no. So
just a
it's a hundred.
very bit. Sorry, after you.
It's an hour 39.
Okay, pacing was good.
Yeah.
Pacing was good for considering what I just said as well. Well, what do you think? Tacked on? Do you think it was tacked on at the end, or was that?
I don't think it was tacked on, but I think
Correct.
they changed something in the ending. I think that the ending was changed by the
Okay.
studio.
Yeah. 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 So maybe
By the American Batman.
she died in the cave, and he comes out all just sad and broken, like the end of like Wolf Creek style, end of Wolf Creek style. That's very seems
Yeah,
to be very Greg McLean. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this. Yeah. Okay. So this is not your favorite act.
No, everything up to this point I really liked. And don't get me wrong, I love a good fight with a monster in a cave.
Mm,
Brilliant.
mm, mhm.
But I feel like this didn't have the same energy as the rest of the film.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting because I was kind of okay with it because I've
Yeah,
seen the croc, gotten used to the CGI, and when you see it actually front on, once it actually got in and got into the cave, I thought, no, this is actually okay. I felt the fingers being torn off. I felt the
yeah.
stab in the eye was a good move
Bit of
to
bone,
actually,
bit of bone.
yeah. I thought at the end, yeah, when actually, if I may have actually, when it actually kills Rogue with the spear,
Yep.
yeah, that actually ended up
The broken
working.
log, the
Yeah,
sharp point
no,
on it.
I wasn't taken out of it by the,
Oh no, no,
yeah,
no. I wasn't taken out of the film, but I
okay,
think there was a different ending that the energy was leading
yeah,
to
I
that
hear you.
this.
Yeah, with Saving the Day, just didn't surprise me. It's this type of film. Yeah, and so once she was alive in the cave, and he found that she was still breathing, and it was like, okay,
Yeah,
she's gonna live. Yeah, she's going
yeah.
to
Of
live.
course, of
Yeah,
course.
they've
So
they killed the dog though. That was hilarious. They did get away with
yeah,
that.
yeah. I've got something to say about that as well.
I'm sure you
Um,
do.
well,
With all
yeah,
due
not
respect,
from
of
me.
course.
Not yeah, not this was not from me for a change, but yeah. So then yeah, they escape from the cave. They find the tourists and paramedics, and everybody's safe and happy.
Yeah, pretty
Except
much.
obviously already been killed, and Kevin the Wonder Dog,
Hmm.
who I'll refer to as Kevin the Wonder Dog.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so interestingly enough, there's a lot of reviews for this
Oh, hang on,
that
if I may, just with the end,
sure,
just to not miss any, weight of beats in terms of character, because there is at the end, they're both, she's broken. The wounds that
yeah,
they both got are very real
oh yeah,
to ish, for a movie, definitely.
yeah,
Uh, the when she gets flown up by a helicopter and he says goodbye on the ground, yeah.
yeah,
And there at once, okay, you lived, and she says thank you. Then there's a look between them again, going back to what I was saying with Kevin. Is Kevin are they gonna use him as bait? There's that exchange, silent exchange just with the eyes, and there's that real moment of what could have been if things were different. Yeah.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
she
yeah,
flies away. Yeah. And they're both, there was a good chemistry between them. Mostly her, because her eyes are great. I'm saying that because I'm on IMDb Children, and there's a little JPEG of her eyes just staring straight at me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, she carries a lot of that, definitely. But yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, it was good. It was good.
A lot of good
For
base work.
yes, considering it had to be what you've laid out to be a, contractual happy ending. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a lot of reviews of this film where they say, I was going to score this 4, I was going to score this 5, but how dare
Okay,
they kill the dog?
okay.
And I
Yeah.
mean, like a third to half the reviews mention the dog dying.
Yes, it is. We know it's one of his, I know it's one of the big taboos, that in children and SA. So there's three. Yeah, I
Yeah,
must make him have, I will make a habit of mentioning that and SA.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All for valid reasons. I do get it. But
Yeah,
carry
for
on,
sure.
Baron. Carry on, Baron.
So my favorite review that I read was some people from home and away go on a boat trip in Australia where there's a great big crocodile and they get eaten.
Yeah. Yes, TikTok. but I like it. No, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
How do
Um,
you feel though? How do you feel? Because once upon a
look,
time with the well, it
mhm,
got a score that could have gotten higher if a certain dog didn't die. You know what I mean? We
yes,
know,
yeah, yeah,
I may say this with all due respect, absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know that this is a thing for you in horror films, yeah?
Oh, it is hundred
And
percent.
film in
So with
general, yeah,
yeah,
please.
but with this in particular, the dog dying at the hands of the crocodile is perfectly reasonable in universe.
Mhm. Okay, I get you,
Um,
of
in the
course, yeah,
well,
okay.
in the well in particular, there was no good story or even human reason for those dogs to be killed. It
Um,
was
no, it was a
unnecessary.
directorial reason. They were just darkening the atmosphere, the tone of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But again, we're not here to argue that.
No,
But yeah, it's
but,
just in
but
relation to this film. It's in universe,
yeah,
absolutely, and it was done comedically as well. I did appreciate there was a sense of humor to it as well.
yeah,
'Cause this is still the Wolf Creek guy. This is
yeah. Oh yeah.
still the Wolf Creek guy, and it came out after, so he's playing on the expectations of what's he going to do. Was this directly what he did next?
This was directly what he did
Yeah,
next. Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I reckon that's just my theory. I reckon there's a little bit of that into it, but it's not gratuitous. We've seen
No.
Terrifier 3 recently. Thank you for watching the episode, and going to see it in the cinemas. And the off-screen kills in that are done really well. And
Yeah.
that's based on expectation a lot as well of what's going to
Correct.
happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it. Shout out for Possessed by Horror for showing the growth to, yeah, extreme things can be shown. It's just all in the way that you do it. You don't need to be gratuitous or exploitive,
No.
however you say that word. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And and this movie doesn't exploit crocodiles or anything like that. Or nah, it's you know what I mean. There's a nice OTT to this as well to show,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, this isn't gonna it's humans, but how I see it, this isn't gonna cause people to go out and shoot crocodiles. Yeah,
No.
because
No.
that does happen in this country.
Yep.
Yeah, unjustly. Because they are just beasts and it is its own territory. If this was its own
Yeah.
territory, yeah, that is explained well in this movie as well. It is just
Yeah.
doing its thing. It is just doing its thing. Yeah,
Hanging
yeah.
out. It's not like it's chasing a particular family all the way to the Bahamas. Um, or anything like that.
Put on your flipping KFC 3D glasses and enjoy.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So I do have a bit of a crypto psychology corner, but it's a left turn to my usual crypto psychology corner.
Okay,
I'm
what you
not
got?
I'm, I'm not doing the crocodile. So the crocodile is a perfectly normal Australian beast, probably larger than most, but certainly within the normal range. So
Mhm,
it's not a cryptid in any way. It
mhm.
did not possess any particular additional knowledge or intelligence. It was just doing its thing. So my
Yep.
crypto psychology is based on the character of Pete McKell. So Pete McKell seems to be some sort of magical American who's turned up to save the day.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, he's never seen a croc before, but he beats it handily. There's no telegraphing of special skills, but he seems to show extreme survival and combat skills. Maybe
No.
he's M Ultra.
MK Ultra. What was okay? Then what was the trigger word?
Crocodile. You
No, no,
know,
no, no, no.
Kevin the Wonder Dog. So
Because
like so he's got some sort of buried like special forces skills that come to the fore when he's being attacked by a giant lizard.
yeah, no, I get you because it's wild. It's like it is like, yeah, okay, huh? What?
But I
Okay,
have a theory.
because
I have a
yeah,
theory.
please,
He's
please.
a werewolf.
Oh, you're insane, Baron. Hold on. He's a werewolf. Okay. Anything to back that up, or that's just
He,
as
he,
is? He's a werewolf.
he takes damage and can still operate.
Hmm.
Uh, he's got an affinity with the dog. He's hairy.
Yeah, fucking
He
all right.
beats a 7.6 meter long crocodile with a piece of wood and a bone.
Yeah, he does do that. He does do that, which he learned off the vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there you go. Baron, if you want to declare it official. Yeah.
It's a-
Because it is,
Um,
yeah. It doesn't really make sense, but yeah,
no,
it's
no,
fine.
no, no.
It's fine.
He's
He
a
has
cryptid.
to. Yeah. Yeah. She's hot, sure.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's that. I mean, I've got nothing else here.
Well, it's
Um, Sad that it didn't make its money back.
yeah, no, I shouldn't have flopped. Should have made
Yeah.
just, just give it a few mil. It's not
Yeah.
bad by any means. It's not bad by any means.
Maybe
Huh?
they made something back selling it to streaming or something. Maybe there's more money coming for that. But yeah, it didn't make its money back in the cinema.
Could have been wrong time. Yeah, they might have been sick of the glut because I'm sure they were, from late 90s, early 2000s. Or was it the 2010s that Godzilla started to ramp up? No,
Yeah.
I'm thinking more mid 2010s that they,
Yeah.
yeah, to
The turn.
now, to now, yeah. Um, Godzilla minus one is amazing.
Oh, such
Yeah,
a good.
and it, and
Yeah.
it. Shout out Dorian. He's 10. He's forced me for 2 weeks. Their children. Every time I walk past, I live with this good kid. Every time I walk past him in the house. Are we watching it tonight? What are you doing tonight? Okay, okay. We are going to watch it though. Holding you to it. And then
Yeah.
eventually sat down and watched it. Yeah, and great
It's really
experience
good.
and phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. The drama of it. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Beats Train to Busan. Busan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
is
would agree.
both play on that balance. Yeah,
Yeah.
no shade on Busan. That's great as well.
No, it's a
Do we
good
want
film.
to rate this?
Yeah, sure. Look, I'm gonna give this a solid. I was gonna say 3.5, but I think I'm gonna go to a 4. I think you've turned me around on the third act. So
I've
yeah, I was
turned you
gonna give it a
around.
3.
How have
Yeah,
I turned you around?
you liked the fight in the cave. I found the fight in the cave leading to the happy ending as two parts of the same thing, but they're not. The fight in the cave is its own thing. And I think it's just the last little bit of the third act that is goes downhill because of the happy ending.
Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. I'll give it a 3.5. Yeah, no, 3.5. Because having discussed it, yeah, it was a satisfying afternoon watch, a very
Yeah,
satisfying afternoon watch, definitely.
yeah,
It's the CGI that took me out of it in moments
yeah,
and it spoiled a great reveal. Yeah, it was, yeah, and so wasn't the movie that I was hoping, but it didn't disappoint either. There were definite moments. I want to shout out the moment between the mum when she's faced with the reality that she can't swim across the water and she may not be able to spend time with her daughter, that
yeah,
it's revealed that she's basically in her, she's, I don't know, she went late 50s, early 60s. Gorgeous, by
yeah,
the way. By May,
yeah,
just incredible looking woman. She just resounds theatre just in her presence and in her performance as well. And when John Jarrett is consoling her, yeah,
yeah,
and calming her and just convincing her, I've got you. I'll take you across because I'm not leaving you here. He's being firm with that as well. That
yeah,
exchange is like, okay, this is acting. Yeah,
yeah,
they've got the two actors here, very smart and McLean, to create this, to put this in here because this just gave this whole movie gravity. Um, but the CGI did take it out of me. It did take it out of me for me at the start with the reveal not being what I wanted at all.
yeah,
And yeah, the guy when he goes across, I found a little too hysterical, and playing on with the juxtaposing with the classic reference with the Poseidon Adventure et al. The rest of them who've
yeah,
used it. 3.5, 3.5. Um, but it did sell me at the end. It did sell me at the end because of the weight of the acting pretty much across the board. I just did the
yeah,
two standouts there. but Radha Mitchell is really good.
Yep.
She's
Yep.
really good. And she knew when to go back and let the supporting cast, the rest of the ensemble cast,
Yeah.
even though she was the Hollywood pulling at that stage. Yeah, because do
Yeah.
Silent Hill's around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure when
Yeah.
that's released, but she's quite kind of biggish around this time. She's certainly top B grade actor.
Oh yeah, for
Not B
sure.
grade, but bottom of
Um,
A, bottom of A, bottom of A. There you go.
so Silent Hill was the year before, so it was
There,
2006.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And
Um,
no, yeah. So blah 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 blah. 3.5.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, no, a 3.5 and a 4. So yeah, heading towards
Mm.
delicious.
It's a good film. It's a good film. Yeah. It's not an Australian classic. It's an Australian American very good creature feature.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
satisfying creature feature. Yeah.
yep,
Because there's too much American stuff in this to be a real kind of Australian Gothic. I'll amend
yeah,
what I said before. You know what I mean? It doesn't have the bleakness, the
yeah,
isolation. Yeah.
yeah,
That yeah, Wolf Creek, Picnic Hanging Rock, etc. have.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
But good to
Um,
have in the series. So yeah,
good.
what's
Any?
next?
Oh yeah, what's
Oh,
next?
yeah, what are we doing next? So we do have the rest of the Greg McLean stuff, but we get excited mid-episode, have ideas. Let's do it next. And then we neglect our obligations to Eagle Entertainment, Eagle Edge.
Yes, we should do an eagle thing next.
Yeah, an Eagle thing. We're terrible with names. No disrespect, please. But we should really get back to that. Yeah. Well, I'll say I'm up because Scream Queen's busy during October. Bat always welcome, if you hear
Yeah.
see. So let's go. Let's go silly. Let's go The Exorcists.
The Exorcists.
Yeah, that's the one. Remember on the trailer with the teenage girls
Yeah.
wearing the masks and they Megan slide into the the
Oh
college,
yeah.
hallway. Yeah. Let's get goofy. Let's get
Okay.
teenage goofy on
I
it.
will
Yeah.
put that on my list. Any recommendations for other stuff you've been watching since last we spoke?
Ah, Odyssey. Yeah, it's an art house film, very ambiguous, Shudder original. So don't if you can't stand anything that's not a linear A to Z plot, don't watch it because you will be frustrated. Because I was a little frustrated, and I love this stuff, but need to watch it again. If you like stop motion, yeah, if you haven't seen stop motion, throw that on there as well. Two Shudder originals, very ambiguous, very dark, very occulty. Stop motion, especially what they do with stop motion and gore together, is mwah. Yeah, Baron.
There's a new series I started watching called Teacup.
Oh, is it good? I know
Um, so
exactly what you mean.
so Teacup is based on an old favorite novel by a guy called Robert McCammon, who's a horror author. The novel is called Stinger. For anyone that's interested, I don't know why I can't think why they've called it Teacup, but it's really good. So the tagline for it is a group of people in rural Georgia find themselves facing off against a mysterious threat to their survival. Um,
Is that
so yes,
is one connected with that? James Wan?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
producer,
Let me check.
because we've covered him a lot on the pod. Shout out Dorian.
Okay, so Teacup, and it's got an Australian link, which is Yvonne Strahovski. She was in the TV series Chuck. She's a Sydney girl.
Oh yeah, okay,
Um,
okay, cool.
uh,
Congrats. Good, always good to see.
American. It
If you want to come on
is
the pod and talk about it,
in McCulloch. I think I might wait till the whole season is done. I don't like the whole doing an episode by episode thing.
okay,
So
okay.
it's up to 5 episodes. It's an 8 episode season.
Oh, I'm talking about the film, the horror film.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
The Exorcist.
No, 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 no. What was the horror film? What's the horror link with this person, the actress you
Oh,
just mentioned?
Yvonne Strahovski. No, it's just because she's Australian.
Yeah, oh, it's Australian. My bad. My bad. Sorry, my
Yeah.
confusion. My confusion.
So with Teacup, directed. Oh no, it's not James Wan.
No, is that the chair? So I'm getting my
Ah,
YouTube watch list
yeah, that's okay. No, it's uh, John Hyams, E.L.
confused.
Katz, Chloe Okuno, Kevin Tancharoen. I think Kevin Tancharoen. Where have I seen him? Oh, Agents of Shield and Mortal Kombat Rebirth.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he does a lot of things like Arrow and The Flash and Titans.
Um,
Book of Bob.
hmm. Yeah, okay. So what?
Yes,
Sorry.
it's very good.
Huh?
The Teacup is very good.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, that's your recommendation. That's your recommendation. Thank you for just having ideas and drifting off because of the ideas. Um, Terrifier 3, of course, absolutely. Just looking now because I'm going through the slasher series and people have seen Halloween's, and if they want to see it, they'll see it. If they don't, they don't. At this
Yeah,
stage, the VHSs, I've been going through them because I'm doing the 31 Films of October challenge, and they're good on trains. And if I'm going
yep,
to work, I'll spend about 2 hours on a train. That's enough to squeeze one of those in. Yeah.
yep,
So I've been going through those, and most people know they vary in quality. The first two are great, and then from there it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, just Oddity is the main one. I've talked about stop motion before with Dorian. So yeah,
yeah.
Oddity is the main one on Shudder if you like strange, weird, occulty art house horror.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I do.
yeah. And so what are we doing next again? Remind me.
The Exorcists.
The Exorcist. There you go. All right. Okay. And then we'll take it from there. Then we'll take it from there. Yes, and so we're about to record Salo with Dorian after this. So that's, of course, will be coming out. And what are we doing after that on the iceberg? I don't know. We'll see. One fucking movie at a time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shout outs,
yeah.
Baron, please.
Look,
Plugs.
you've gone as deep on the iceberg as I'm likely to go. So
Mhm.
you're breaching new territory for me. So I'll be interested to
Yeah,
listen to the episode.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. Salo's fucking gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Um. Yeah. So shout outs. I will always shout out. Improv Queensland, Act React, Supernova. We've got a Supernova coming up. Um, John Jarrett will be there. Lincoln Lewis will be there. Lincoln Lewis from Bait 3D. John Jarrett, obviously, horror royalty in Australia. So
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
excellent, excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Do your thing, do your
15
thing.
published. I'll,
Is
I'll I'll shout them out because I'll get that book. Once the book is available for print, I will tell people.
hmm hmm Excellent,
Yeah,
excellent. Cool. Yeah, so what are we looking at? What are we looking at? What is Terrifier 3 definitely has to come out next and but so I get a couple of weeks because we want to have this hitting around Halloween time. Because I want people to come to Escape Manor for Blackout, where you get to do all
yes.
of the rooms in the dark, and got a feeling we're going to go a bit harder into Halloween
Okay.
in a nice, happy, fun way, definitely. But we're just going
Yeah.
to, do more this year because we've got more of the spirit as well. Shout out to everyone there, and certainly for the other night of the staff meeting, really good. Looking forward to Blackout. You get to do all the rooms in the dark, so even if you've done them before, come through. We've got unique storylines, unique backstories, and you only get torches, not house lights, to complete the room. Yeah. So if you're an
Interesting.
escape room fan, if you're a Halloween fan, if you're both, then absolutely come along. And then, of course, Evil Corp. We're just doing the Saturdays, so we're just focusing, concentrating all of the efforts to these Saturdays as well. So definitely come along there. And we're going to be doing it on the November the 1st and the 2nd, as well as prior to that. We're doing kind of two Halloween nights because, of course, Halloween lands on a Thursday. In between the Evil Corp weekends come
Yeah.
to Escape Manor. There you go. And then I will
Yeah.
be just in a fetal position on Friday and then have a bath, slap myself around and go back on Saturday. Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And coming up in February next year, which we should probably mention, is the what was it, Splatterfest? What is Kate calling it?
Splatfest, February.
Splatfest.
Yes, slowly
Yes.
building, working on that. Any creators out there, shout us up. We'll
Yeah.
pass on the message.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
Because
we are. Should we sizzle that we're looking at possibly doing a live episode?
yeah, absolutely. Let's do it, Baron. Sizzle.
Yes, we're doing a live
Sizzle.
episode.
Yeah, sizzle it. And if you have any ideas for that of what you'd like to see experience at a live episode, yeah.
Hmm.
Do you want us to do a watch along Q&A? I don't know. Hit us
Yeah.
up.
Do you want us to do a classic film? Do you want us to do a new film? Do you want us
Mhm.
to review maybe people's Australian
Mm.
independent short films?
That's a great
Um,
idea.
you know,
That is a
give us a
great idea. Because we have Duncan Peak, Jaden Crichton out there who are dropping short films. I'm pretty sure his one, The Matriarch, which is going to be showing. Yeah, it's too late. But keep an eye out, ear out for The Matriarch, because that's having its premiere here. Its Brisbane premiere on Monday at Dendy Cinema, Coorparoo. Yeah, so I'm
Oh,
going to
okay, cool.
endeavor to get to that because he wants to come onto the pod and talk about it. I've seen
Brilliant.
bits and pieces of his stuff, and it's production value, high quality, intense kind of crime meets horror stuff. Apologies if I've
Sure.
got that wrong. That's just the impression I've got thus far. Yeah, but looks good. Looks really good. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's us.
Hmm.
I think that's us. Good luck recording Salo tonight after this.
Yeah. 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 You do it for you, children. You do it for you. Yes. So make sure you've eaten your popcorn. You've gone to
Yeah.
support your independent cinema at the theatre.
Yes.
And you've written down something about it in a nice constructive way, whatever you think, to help support people and done all the things like with us at Evil Popcorn Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baron. Yeah. And we love you. Don't get us wrong. You're great. We're growing. It's really cool. We're at 600, going on to 700 views in 2 days for our little bathroom reaction. Yeah. TikTok's coming, god damn it. God damn you. A little short form. Angry old man at cloud. It's
Yes.
coming. We're getting a TikTok. I'm setting it up. I'm going to do a TikTok. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, others on the pod, you'll have all the access to all of your young people things. Yeah. I mean, look at us. The Baron is basically going into the more of Rogue rather than have anything to do with TikTok. But it will happen, yeah, and that will be at Evil
Yes.
Popcorn Pod, yeah. I'm going to set it up soon,
Brilliant.
and the restaurant reactions will definitely be on there. Baron, let's do more of those though, yeah. Let's video
Yeah.
them next time and such, yeah. Then that's yeah,
As long as they're running the bathroom consents.
exactly. That's the fun of it, though. That was the fun of it. It was very guerrilla, and the fact that
It
Cade came
was.
out, wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely shout out Cade. All right. I think that's it. This has been Mr. Popcorn keeping it bitey, snappy.
Well, and this is the Baron saying, "Go to bed, children. Go to bed." But not the riverbed, because that's where the crocodiles
How do you do Jaws, but as a crocodile, the music in an Aussie accent? Uh,
are.
yeah.
Da 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 da
It's
da
a
da
fucking
da.
croc.